Good morning, everybody. Well, yesterday was a start, but I don't think I know it's not exactly what we are looking for here, some kind of a meaningful turn. Um, let's just back it up a little bit. Had the gap up and it went sideways for a while and it was like a coin flip as to which way it was going to go. Um, I think that was here, right? This gray part is the overnight. It was like that. Let's just back it up a little bit. This was the tell right there. Um, when we say with tell, he's like, okay, that is the shakeout. That's the one. It's they're buying the dip. It's obvious on this time frame, and that's where it should go up. And there was I guess, I don't know, the classics, typical buy setup on the 5 minute of the cues that I mentioned at the time in the room, and it had this nice little move up, and there was some wiggling around, and so now we've got this bar, it's a small tail. It didn't take out this high. I mean, it held the gap. That's a plus. It didn't close near the high. So a little less than convincing. Not terrible. Um, where's this other chart I just pulled in here? It's this one. Yeah. So on this kind of a day, I'm just going back to the week before last, where this went up, hit the resistance area, backed off. There was news there. And then you have this next one that should be a continuation day. And maybe it'll happen today. We'll see. But this day-to-day line chart, we really want to see that thing close above 1500. And it hasn't even done that down at the low here. That's one of the things that you want to look for, even on this day here as it moved up. It didn't close up there, but hey, it's a wide range bar. It looked great, and it moved up into this resistance area. So we'll see what today brings. We'll see where it's at right now. It's moving lower as I speak. And it's below the green bar. It's kind of not what it's supposed to do. Um, let me recheck this. Wow. Yep. Down below yesterday's low. Unfilled gap here. And odds are it's got to go down there. So let's just probably down here to this pivot high on the 15-minute chart, give or take. I just want to check the open interest and what's expiring this week in spiders. 3 days out. 3 days out. We don't want to. 20. Oh, wow, it's down there. There's a big open interest. It's all the way down to 425. That would be something. So the idea is, where is there a large open interest expiring in a short amount of time? So there's some at 430. So it may actually go all the way down there. If we don't see any kind of a bounce, and that would make sense that it would come down there. Okay. All right. So that's the level to keep an eye on. And we're at here in the middle of the red bar. I'm gonna have to check SPX spreads again. Things are moving. $42.85. Yeah. So 42.85 could be done. That's the number, what the number was earlier. This came down 10. So it's in the middle of this red bar, kind of right in the middle of the strikes again. Which way is it going to go to? Yeah. Any news coming out at 10 o'clock? Let me see. No news at 10 o'clock. Thanks, Alex. I don't know. Not that there's business inventories. I don't know if that's a big deal. Retail sales inventories. I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's going to get stuck in the middle of this range here, give or take. So as things are moving lower now, and I'm going to go to the futures, if they head lower in the first, 5-10 minutes or so, this level can move lower, and that would be what you want to do. And I would say anywhere sitting where this is, it's in the middle of that range. It could go back up. It's not going to be so easy, but the downside premiums will grow if it drops a little bit. And those typically work out better. All right, futures. You can see it's just going nowhere, flip-flopping around. And that may be what we're in for today. And it's just as it tries to find direction and some news event that's going to push it one way or the other. Or go to the beach and put it on simulator, see if you follow your plan. So YM looked better, closing above those highs after that topping tail. Unless I want to look at the Dow, actually not the futures. Because what happened on Friday was this took out the high of these bars and then closed down. So if it had broken below this low, that would have been a clear signal of lower, but it gapped up and it had clear air, or a void as we call it, and it couldn't keep going. Let's go back and see where they're at again here. A little bit into the bar, not a big deal. It's just more of a pattern that is more likely to have something that rolls over. But it's down a little bit. It's just not convincing. That's what, the first line. Yesterday's reversal was not convincing. And at least this isn't gapping below that bar's low. See, we get a better view here. Oh, yeah, it is. On the diamonds, it's gapping below that low, or right to that low. So, I mean, unless the buyers show up here, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen in the first few minutes or the first 15 minutes or so, this looks like it could be a turn day or a continuation of this move down and this rally rolling over. The Russell may need to tag the bottom of these pivot lows down there. I mean, it's close. Maybe a little bit lower, give or take. These make higher lows, but I mean, look what I said yesterday. The ideal was for this to go lower, and in the next week or so, and that would be the ideal seasonality, historical October low setting up for the end of year rally. And things typically look ugly. And what happens, it's going to make a turn, and we're going to get one of these days where it's going to make the turn, and this is going to tag this upper line up here, and that's going to be historically what we want to see to go all in, or however you're going to do it. Transports, not bad. would have been great if it closed at the high, but not bad. It led the way down. It's on the 200, flip-flopping around here. Yeah. And we'll see what happens there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, which was looking better. It had a good day yesterday. It's still in this trading range. That's something, but it gave it back. So everything's a mess. Everything's a mess. Interest rates, what are they doing? Heading back up. And look at the currencies down here. They're down, not a lot, which means the dollar's going up. We got these dots here, but in an uptrend, interest rates are in an uptrend, and part of our discussion in the green room, I think it was last week, was as things were looking decent, what could make things go lower and cause that new low? What's been same thing that's been causing trouble for the markets? The dollar going up and interest rates going up. And while they had these reversal days on the auction, it's TBT, this moving up now, this popping up above the highs. And what we'll be looking for, this going up, slowing momentum, between the turns. And something that was said, not that I put that much weight on what some of these people say on CNBC, but sometimes a statement sticks out as like, that sounds like something that could be a trigger, because most of these guys that are managing money, they got the same information that telling them what to do about the markets. And one of his comments was, if the 10-year goes above 5%, that's going to cause a sell-off. Okay. That's they think is, a major occurrence for this to go up, a little bit more and get above 5%. That, okay, it's a whole number. It's a little higher than what it is. And, we marked off all of this congestion that's there. I'm trying to go back a little bit, where it actually stops, I don't know, but there's the 5%, and there's the pivots up there. So pushing up there, and after the run it's had, I think it would begin to stall. So that's kind of stuck in my mind as remembering the chart. If that's what's going to cause them to all hit the sell button, and it happens at this time of the year, and we get the right reversal, it could be the perfect scenario for, a nice turnaround. So that's definitely something that you want to keep an eye on and set an alert there on that 10-year at 5%. And I guess we'll take a look at crude oil. So far, just flip-flopping around here. We'll keep an eye on if it starts moving up, where, all the worries come back. Dollar going up, interest rates going up, crude oil going up, and market going down right into the seasonal period where we're looking for it to make a turnaround. So far, that looks like what should transpire, and we'll just keep an eye on it. All yours, Dan. What is Don asked Greg? What will rising rates have a possible effect on end of year rally? The effect will be just simply what's causing the markets to go down. What caused the markets to go down in 2022? A rising dollar and rising interest rates. And so as the dollar goes up, there's part of a belief there, because it's all with all currencies, is that they're going to raise interest rates some more. And so you hear both sides of that argument as to what they're going to do or not going to do. So if the dollar continues to go up, it's partially connected to that view about what the Fed is doing. And what have we been hearing about for the last year? Soft landing, no recession. Well, if interest rates continue to go up and the dollar's going up, and I've already been of the opinion that at some point they're going to say it's a recession. And, at that point, I don't think it's going to last that long, but who the hell knows? But think about it. As those interest rates go up, what is the effect of that? The cost to borrow money increases and increases. And from where it was a short time ago, the difference in what it costs to borrow that money is huge percentage wise. In addition, we all know that we can all go out there and put money away with no risk, or extremely little risk, for 5% or better, which makes equities less attractive. And so there's several factors as to, that causing the markets to go down. And if they do reach that above that 5% level, and then we see a nice reversal, our into market analysis and market internals, will be, it's not like borrowing that money all of a sudden is going to become so cheap, but as if a turn does occur, as we hope it does, the whole beliefs about the future begin to change. So while nothing really changed in the moment, the belief about the future, and that's how the markets work, is that it's a discounting mechanism for the future. And so that's why it would have the effect of an end of year rally, but we have to see the whole thing come together, which isn't there right now. Right now, what's coming together is that markets are going to go down. Go ahead, Dan.
Good morning. So every day before market close in the green room, we we just talk about our buys for the next day. And so my bias, I like spiders and Qs, the spiders and diamonds the best, but it was over yesterday's high. I was hoping we'd go up another, day or two and exceed the 50, exceed the gap. And I don't know where. I was kind of just pointing my horizontal line here. Oh, Craig, it's not changing again. Charts. Are you there? Hello. Craig, you there? I don't. Guess what? Oh, you do? Okay, wow, it's the same grids. All right, weird. All right, thanks a lot. Very strange. I'm seeing grids still. That's never happened to me. All right, so anyway, you heard what I said here. I said over the high, then we were talking about this break, we're in a downtrend on the weekly. And we just wanted it to get a little deeper into here, suck in some more bulls, and then reverse. Diamonds look like 50 would have been their logical target. But today's gap down changes it all. Yeah, see, Greg. Hey, Bill, nice. Your gap down. All right, so some people can see it and some don't, including me. I got two accounts here on two computers. All right, Greg did something here. Let's see what happens. All right, I hit share again.
I see your charts.
What?
I had to restart Zoom.
Yeah, but many people don't, including me on my second computer. We got Alex, Rocco, Bill Knotts, Joe. See yours. Now that worked.
Take it
Now,
back now.
all right, now we should be good. All right, so anyway, you've heard what I said there. Now the gap down is negating it. That's why I say that we're kind of like professional poker players. We just assess what hand is dealt with us, and that's what we're doing right now is talking about our market bias based on the gap down today. So my bullish bias is out the window. I just, when I said bullish bias, it's like I said, I had to take out the high, number one, number two, 1 to 2 day bounces on. So Jose asking about Netflix earnings tomorrow, maybe up. Well, we do go through earnings in the afternoon every day, and we assess whether it's a pattern that we want to buy or sell options on. This is just not a great pattern. It's in a downtrend. It's a bear 1, 2, 3 weekly. So I don't know, Jose, if you're talking about buying or selling options, number one, directional trade or income, but it's just not a great pattern. And it's these one of the usual suspects. So premiums are going to be massive. Dollar Tree, yeah, we bought a half lot yesterday, Thomas, and and Greg, just with the market gap down, there was a coin flip for me to send an alert say just sell it, take your overnight money, and we'll reassess on a pullback. And we still can do that if you want. So we have a $2 plus gain overnight, but I moved it to break even just because I ain't gonna turn it into a loser. But yeah, with the weak market, I'm all new longs. I like the bear sandwich on the weekly, so I'm gonna put that on the list as a potential bottoming pattern. Thomas, and it's showing relative strength, pre-market here, not falling with the broader markets, which are continuing weakness. Let's look at a couple of earnings here. LS, I don't see a gap. J&J, wow, J&J was up. Wow, that's a pretty big range for J&J, 161 to 155. So that's a mess right now. BAC up a few pennies, but no pattern. LMT gapping down, but military's been strong, and just gapping yesterday's low area, nothing to do. Goldman, we were talking about selling a 305 put spread yesterday, but it just was not a no-brainer. The strike relative to premium. PLD up a little bit, maybe 30-minute high or put spread. Maybe. BK, I did a put spread on this. It was up, now down a little bit, but I'll still have an open gain, so I'll look to close that at the open. Eric up and down. That's nasty. Daily, weekly, monthly. No interest. ACI gapping down. That's a fairly big gap, $22. But it's gapping a support, nothing to do now. A couple other things here. Sim, just a continuation pattern watch, EXPD, closing breakout of transport. Talking about transports, we sold a put spread on UPS. We took half our money. We stopped break even. It's still neutral right now. Yelp, 180 reversal, closing breakout. If this opens flat, then that would be showing relative strength. So let me set an alarm, 43, just a few pennies over that. Disney. Nice deep retracement, buy setup, gapping down. Ideally, this will give us a 1, 2, 3. Choice Hotel, making a bid for the White House here. $77, nothing to do with that. So what do? I start looking at other hotels. Alex, look at the Hilton here, H. So it's a buy setup after a bullish gap breakout. So over yet for directional, I really needed to go deeper. Because this is not a total potent turn here. But for a foot spread over yesterday's high, that's a nice pattern there. And it's showing relative strength that it's gapping up a few pennies. What do you mean, Jared? Alex, that's what I just talked about 90 seconds ago. That's how I found H. CHH is buying or put a bid for the White House. And I said, that's why I went and looked at other hotels to see if there's any interest in patterns. Who knows? Maybe this is up because maybe the market feels that that could be the next buyout, or maybe they drop their bid for the White House and come after it. I don't know. I just read charts. KTB. This is, I think, Sam Ian's idea. That could be a put spread yesterday's time on the lease, got an upgrade. It's a sloppy Climo. LS, we already looked at earnings, FBK earnings. Was down up a little bit. That's a sloppy potential bottoming pattern, no interest. This thing gapping down. I don't know if this was actual earnings or a pre-release, a pre-announcement, but that's a bearish gap. This thing, I don't know if it was actual or threatened. That's a nasty gap. VSAT, I think, got an upgrade. Yeah, bottoming pattern, but is it bullish enough to want to buy this with the market weak? Surely not to me. It's not. I was going to post TSM as a trade, a bear 1, 2, 3 for one. It could be a day trade short. It oh shoot, my Burger King was not acting good enough. But it has earnings this week. SWKS I posted as a short. That's a bear 1, 2, 3 and a downtrend. SPWR, this is not earnings, but that's an ugly gap. Look at this, this is one of the power, clean energy things getting whacked. This nasty downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. Removal. Capping, if this gets hold in this area, I'll see how it closes. So that big power move up. Now it's a buy setup. Dollar Tree is holding well. Look at that, gapping up, gap up and holding well. VMware is getting killed today. And Greg sent me a yeah, I don't blame you, Alex. Take the money and worry about it another day. So, Greg, I gave you the option if we should do it too. Take $2 gain and move on, or stick with it. So one question I asked myself, Alex, is if we were not in it, would we be looking at it as a gap trade, as a new trade? Like, that's a bullish gap. holding relative strength. So that's why I'm mixed. It's not, I don't. Well, maybe that's a long way away, hourly resistance. All right, VMware, back to this. Greg said there's some insider selling, and Alex, you and I reacted the same. You have a bad frigging big, that frigging big on just inside trading, and it's not inside trading, inside selling. I just killed my BK on that bounce for a 5 cent